I wanted to do a couple more videos before I left today. I want to share a couple thoughts. Um, just to inform you, my region of the United States, we're in Toledo, Ohio here, and it has now become mandatory for you to wear a mask in public places. I don't know how big the fine is, but they're saying I think in some areas you could get a ticket for like $2,000 for not wearing a mask in a public place. That's where we're at. So yesterday I put the mask on for the first time. First time. We've had this virus for a while. You had the option to wear the mask before, but now you are forced to wear it, and especially since I work in retail in that small store, especially since I'm working there now, or have been, and it's mandatory for me to wear the mask. So I just wanted to share my thoughts with that. I'd like to start with a quote from a movie. "That's correct, Wendy. We all wear masks, metaphorically speaking." It's from a movie, The Mask, a comedy that I watched a million times as a kid. Completely gave me brain damage, right? But the masks, what is the point of wearing the mask? Apparently it's to, when you sneeze, I guess air particles can go all over the place. It can go 10 million miles or something. That's what they exaggerate is with that. But we've had horrible viruses in the past, and we've never had to wear masks like this. Now, what does that tell you? Well, it's just because the science is so much more effective now that we know how effective the masks are. They've already proven scientifically that the masks don't actually do anything, especially the masks that I'm wearing. They don't do anything. I mean, they might help a little bit, like if I sneezed into the mask, some of the particles from my nose would probably just, go into my mouth, and that's good for me, right? But it won't go out to, or at least it'll be less on others. So the justification for the mask is to protect others, apparently. So now, for the sake of others, everybody is forced to wear these masks. Okay? That's what they claim. But if a virus is airborne, it can get in through the eyeball, it can get in through my ear, it can, a million different ways that a virus can attack you, I don't think the mask really does much. It might help a little bit, and I still feel, I'm not making fun of the people who do want to wear the mask, I'm glad that you think that you care about people and you think that what you're doing is saving lives, but and you choose to put that mask on. Hey, if you'd like to wear the mask and you think it's having an impact, you go right ahead and have the freedom to put on the mask if you want. But I think for everybody else who, well, we've had viruses in the past and we just live through them. And we have this thing called an immune system. I know I've never heard of it before. We have this thing called an immune system that it adapts and it fights viruses and it overcomes the virus, so then we develop immunities to the virus and then we become stronger as a result of fighting the virus. Naturally, we're naturally allowing our bodies to take the virus. The body defeats the virus, and then we become stronger as a result of that. That's how we've done it for years. And now just this year, in 2020, your body's too weak to deal with viruses now, apparently. Apparently. I don't get it. I don't see the point. So anyway, it's my opinion, and I think a lot of other people share this opinion. I encountered people just yesterday that they didn't want to wear the mask, and they didn't. And there were some people who were just holding the mask. Like, if I need to put the mask on, I'll put it on, but I don't want to put it on. And I'm fine with that. I didn't come up with, hey, you're not wearing your mask. How dare you? I'm going to gun you down on sight. A lot of people are like that. They're just freaking out. You don't have your mask on. Oh my God. And they lose their mind over it. And it's a lot of control freak stuff too, Like I was saying to my boss, I'm not a Nurse Ratched, all right? Nurse Ratched, Cuckoo's Nest, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. She would be like, Billy, you're not wearing your mask. Are you trying to kill everybody in the ward, Billy? Now, your mother wouldn't like you not wearing your mask, Billy. You better just slit your own throat now. That's the kind of evil, the control freak evil that, that's what happens in that movie. She makes him feel so bad about having sex with a beautiful woman, that he ends up killing himself. That's the conclusion of the movie. That's what that control freak psycho does. She's actually more evil than the crazy people that she's trying to help, or at least saying she's trying to help. There's the perfect example right there. You say you're trying to help people with your masks, with your vaccines, but then what's going on behind the scenes? I ask that question. What about these vaccines? You ever done any research on this? If I go to my friend and I say, I don't believe in vaccines because I know the contents include a lot of scary stuff that could be more harmful than good to me. You say that to him and he's like, there's no scientific proof about what you're saying. Right? You should take your vaccines. Jeez. Come on. And he'll get all defensive and just call you a total moron, when there actually is a lot of research now on vaccines, flu shots, that they actually cause a lot of bad stuff today. Now, when this vaccine comes out, which will be, I don't know, sometime we're going to get vaccines. Will they be mandatory? Well, the mask is mandatory now. So I think these vaccines will probably be mandatory. Well, if you want to go to work, you're going to have to get the vaccine. That'll be my store's policy. Every worker must get the vaccine. And if they refuse to get the vaccine, they're dead. Okay, then you're fired. That's probably how it's going to end up. So yesterday, I was willing to put the mask on. Now, if I wore the mask in the way that they want me to wear the mask, I would not be able to accomplish what I normally accomplish. Or if they made me wear the mask as I unloaded the truck in 90-degree heat, 1,000 boxes, that was 1,000-piece truck yesterday, I would be a dead body. I would not be in front of this camera right now if I were forced to wear that mask. I think I am supposed to wear the mask as I'm unloading the truck. But no, you. So I didn't wear the mask as I unloaded the truck, but then I decided to help out with the freight a little bit after the truck. I stayed until his relief came, my boss's relief worker. I was willing to stay for that long, but just wearing the mask over my mouth and trying to speak to people was exhausting. My brain was already starting to feel the effects of wearing the mask. How is wearing the mask? See, I'm cheating. I'm letting my nose stick out. I usually breathe through my nose, so I'm allowing my nose to stick out. It's my FU to everybody who wears the mask, basically. I don't care. Yeah, that's right. I'm a murderer because I want to breathe, so I'm a murderer. No, that's what they think, you know. So anyway, I'm allowing my nose to stick out. And if you want to report me on that, you go ahead and get me fired. That's fine. I'll just starve to death at some point. It's fine. That'd be good. God can take me out of here anytime. You know, it's nonsense happening. But anyway, I'm allowing my nose to stick out so I can breathe through my nose. But imagine if I were like my boss. My boss was having the whole mask over his face, over his nose. How does he even breathe, you know? And I was feeling it, just with it over my mouth. Apparently I use my mouth a little bit to breathe. And I was feeling the effects. I was feeling more tired. I was certainly feeling more depressed. Felt like I was in prison, you know? Like, not allowed to show my face and couldn't breathe. You have less oxygen. Your brain doesn't work as good without oxygen. Did you know this? No, Alex. It's more important to protect others with your mask. So keep your mask on. And if you die of carbon dioxide poisoning, too bad. You have to save lives. Your life doesn't matter, Alex. You bigot. Vote Biden. I'm sorry. It's just so frustrating. It's so nuts. So anyway, that was yesterday. I wore the mask for the first time, and I really didn't like it. And I think this is all completely nuts. What are your thoughts about the mask? Then I have two more thoughts to leave with you about the mask. The one, I encounter this lady who walks up to me and says, she's wearing the full mask, you know. She looked like she was addicted to heroin, though. That's probably what it was. And she said, "Excuse me, I'm just letting you know, there are people over there in the corner who aren't wearing their masks." She said this. And I was like, oh. I think there's a unintentional effect associated with the mask. I think people are taking me way more seriously now. I think the mask makes me look more professional. Maybe it's my fat mouth, you know, and they don't take me seriously normally. But now that I have the mask on, it's like, I don't know. But anyway, she says that to me, and then she says, I have cancer, so I don't want their disease. And then she laughs a little bit. And I was like, oh, yes, I'll get right on that. It's very hard to talk with the mask on, you know? I'm not adapting to that. I don't like it. So anyway, I go to my boss. Just think of the insane thinking associated with that, you know? She has cancer, but then she's worried about this in the corner. You know, it's so insane. I don't get it. Well, obviously, Alex, she has cancer, and she doesn't want to get the coronavirus with the cancer. God, you're so ignorant. Thank you. I am so ignorant. Thank God I'm so ignorant. So anyway, I go to my boss, and I tell him, well, I'm just following the chain of command that there's a woman who's complaining about people not wearing a mask over there, you know. My boss was like, yeah, okay, but we can't enforce that, you know. That's our policy. We can't enforce people not wearing the mask in the store. They can enforce me to wear the mask and my boss dying of carbon dioxide poisoning. We can enforce that, but we can't enforce others to wear the mask. I think that's, thank God, because, excuse me, you need to wear your mask. You're poisoning people. You know, just imagine me having to do that. Thank God I don't have to do that. It's completely nuts. So anyway, nothing was accomplished by that. I think the heroin addict then, who's dying of cancer, I think she went and stole some things in the back after I went up front. You know, it's typically what happens. You know, they give you some excuse. See, now they're using this whole nonsense as another excuse to go steal. I think that's what's going on with all this. So anyway, my last thought associated with the mask. You know what the mask is doing and what I think is really going on? The mask takes away individuality and makes me just some drone, you know. And like I said earlier, it makes me feel like I'm in a prison cell, like I can't, and also I can't talk, you know, it's like a gag. I can't speak now because I'm wearing this mask. I can't breathe. Can't think. Carbon dioxide. No oxygen. I can't breathe. I can't think. And I have no individuality. Nobody can see my pretty face. What it feels like to me is an occult ceremony, some satanic ritual, some ritualistic orientation ceremony, with a bunch of freaks in robes all standing around you going, mana, 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 and they're praying to Satan, and they're chanting, and it's like you're being initiated into some abominable organization of pure evil. Whoa, what a thought! But I'm serious about this. Think about like Skull and Bones and some of these other Freemason psychotic organizations. When they get initiated into that, do you know some of the weird ritualistic stuff they go into? A lot of weird sexual stuff associated with that too. They're putting this mask on everybody. We're all being forced to wear these masks. Are we all being initiated into some satanic cult? I know it's a wild, you know, you're psycho, Alex. Yeah, thank God. Thank God I'm ignorant and psycho, and I'm not like you. Thank God, really. That's what I thank God. Let me just think outside the box for a second. Is there any possibility that the mask, the reasoning for the mask, is something other than what you assume? Think outside the box for just a minute. I'm thinking outside the box. I care about people. I really do. I'm really not a murderer like you think. You know, I really do care about. You know, I care about people so much that I'm reading this into this camera. How many people are willing to do that? To share their whole lives on a stupid camera, on a stupid YouTube channel that doesn't get any views or subscribers? You know, how many people are willing to do what I'm doing? You know, that's how much I care and I love you. And I want you to be saved. I want your soul to be saved. But how's that possible, Alex? You're a murderer. You're not wearing your mask properly. Yeah. I guess I just don't get it. But I admit the possibility that maybe the mask is good, and maybe we are saving lives by wearing the masks. I'll admit that possibility. It's possible. Just let's subdue my doubt for a moment. It's possible. Can you do the same for me? Can you subdue your doubt for a minute and think that maybe the mask has some other use or possibility? Can you subdue your doubt for a moment and think that maybe this is true? And maybe everything in here is happening right now? Can you subdue your doubt for a moment? I can do the same, you know. I can take a step back and say, what if this is wrong? But then when I apply it to my life and I apply it to everything going on, I see that it's 100% true. Can you do the same with that mask? Do you see the results of what you're doing? Do you see the results of these policies, this control? Do you see the end game? Do you see what it's doing to the economy? Do you see what it's doing to the suicide rate of imprisoning everybody in their homes? Do you see what's happening? Is it really worth imprisoning every single person in this country? Is it really worth it? For the sake of trying to prevent a virus that normally how we would deal with a virus is we would deal with it. We'd go out there and we'd face it. Instead, we're hiding. Do you think outside the box? Or am I a murderer? I hand it to you. Whatever. Thank you for listening. Have a blessed day.